Hey, what's up everybody? Whiteboard video time. My name's Clay and I own Ronin Forex, and in this video, I want to talk about one of my favorite simple setups that you can really capitalize over and really make some big profits. If you can learn how to see these over and over and over again. So right now, as when I'm shooting this video, let me turn this light on. There we go. We have a great setup on GBP USD. And so today is the 6th. Today's the 6th of December. So you can go back and look at this. And I've shared this with my VIP group. And what I call these and how I was taught to use them as a throwover line, right? So typically this is after a false break higher in the market. So the way this works a lot of times, the big money and big institutions will catch retail traders off guard, have them get into some sort of state of euphoria like buying. And this happened this week with GBP USD. Obviously there's a lot of Brexit news and fundamentals on that end that are pushing this market higher. But you can see we're in a big consolidation phase, which is like a wedge pattern here. And then we really started to rally and then pushed higher. And then in terms of GBP USD, if you want to look at this on your charts at home, we hit this 13500 price level. And so this is a big marker and a huge resistance for us to push past. And in fact, we actually got up to about 135.40, I believe, if I can remember off the top of my head. And what happened, right? So what happened, people started to buy, and then boom, right? We have a move higher, or a move lower, a big move lower. This turned out to be a buy to sell move. Price kind of bounced off this support, the bottom side of this wedge, right? So price moved lower and then higher. And so a lot of people were like, oh shit, yeah, buy the dip here. Buy the dip. We just retested resistance. I'm gonna ride this bad boy up to 140. And then so what ends up happening is price drops down below. So we aren't quite to the bottom side of this wedge in GU right now. That would be like where, of course, is a very crude drawing. But you know, once you know these patterns and can see and learn the psychology of the market over and over and over again, you know, it doesn't even matter if it's just a crude pattern on a whiteboard, because you know what the banks and the big money behind the scenes are really trying to do and how they're manipulating price to catch people off guard and to take your money. So, but now we have this throwover, right? So now we're back inside this wedge. So what we want to look for, this retest somewhere around there, and that's going to be your entry, and that's a signal for a move lower. So in terms of pound, like long term, don't get me wrong, I think it's the likelihood that we're going to see much stronger pound as opposed to a stronger dollar is like extremely high, right? Probably going to see, and depending on what happens if Biden ends up in office, you know, you can probably kiss the strength of the dollar goodbye, especially as we get into more quantitative easing and potentially negative rates for the US dollar. But who knows? It hasn't happened yet, right? So nobody can really tell. Nobody knows at this point. But I think so. I do think we're going to set up and kind of retest ourselves for a move higher, and eventually long term, my target for GBP USD is going to be 1.42. But in the meantime, right, you can see, you can look for these throwovers over and over and over again. Another one, if you want to just look and practice at home right now, is on that really played itself out, and you can watch and back test, is NZD-JPY that happened last week, and that'll be a great example and a great thing for you to test at home as you are checking these throwovers and watching them happen again and again and again. And also, you know, I mean, they can happen going on the way down, right? And so the way this typically works is we have a descending wedge here, and we have a false breakdown, right? So this happens all the time. Let me change this a little bit. Here we go. Right there we go. This looks pretty solid. Okay, so what happens? We get a move lower, right? We're consolidating, we're in a consolidation phase, and then a move lower down here. People start getting short, right? Then even retest, people add to their positions, thinking the market's gonna really just crash and drop. But what happens in reality is the big money drives the prices upward for reversal. So, so it works both ways. They're really fun to trade and can be super, super profitable. It's a way to get, ahead of how the banking institutions are really trying to drive and manipulate the price to catch you on the other side. And like I said earlier, take your money, right? So we have the throw over, we have the false breakdown. I guess you call it throw under, could be, on the descending wedge. And and this is a great setup. We also have this happening right now you can follow along at home if you're that self-motivated. And if you are that self-motivated, you might have a chance as a trader. But if you're not, maybe you don't, right? Because the thing is, you have to go and figure this stuff out on your own if you want to be successful. So I teach this more in depth in my courses in the Training Academy. Right now it's 60% off so it's only $399. Don't miss out on this opportunity to get in there. If you want to learn more about our more advanced strategies on how to get funded, how to use institutional setups to get funded, I also have a program for that as well. So click the link below or in my bio, and man, I want to help you and get you to that next level. I can get you to the next level using these strategies so you can figure out a strategy that works for yourself. I like to say there's not one strategy in the market and in trading, but each trader has their own specific strategy that's unique to them, and that's what makes this whole journey as a trader and an entrepreneur such a development process. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you. It's Sunday. Let's crush it. Let's have an awesome week this week, everybody. And I appreciate all